Hey, NetSuite podcast listeners. Thanks for tuning in to this episode breaking down our newest NetSuite release. I'm McCue, a senior content marketing manager at NetSuite, and I'm joined by NetSuite's business and finance editor, Megan O'Brien. The summer means it's our second product release of the year, and NetSuite 2024 Release 2 is packed with a bunch of awesome new features.
Absolutely. NetSuite 2024.2 brings new functionality across SuiteBilling, SCM Mobile, and Manufacturing Mobile, and SuitePeople, as well as new Suite apps to help businesses run their supply chains more efficiently. We have 4 different guests breaking down the latest capabilities in detail and explaining how they benefit you.
And if you're looking for more, our sneak peek release blogs are now live on netsuite.com. See the links in the description of this episode to check those out.
Stay tuned because we have a lot of exciting updates that you won't want to miss.
You're listening to the NetSuite podcast, where we discuss what's happening within NetSuite, why we're doing it, and where we're heading in the future. We'll dive into the details about the software and the people at NetSuite who are behind all the moving parts. We'll also feature customer growth stories, discussing the ups and downs of running a company and how one integrated system can help your business continue to scale.
Kicking us off is Lisa Schwarz, Senior Director of Product Marketing at NetSuite. Lisa will provide a quick preview of what's new in 2024 Release 2, including an updated user interface that customers can now try out for the first time. She also gives a refresher on how all our customers receive the update and what they can do to prepare for it. So Lisa, we have a few guests joining us to dive deeper into the latest functionality in NetSuite 2024 Release 2, but could you give us a quick overview of what's new?
Absolutely. So we have a slew of new supply chain and manufacturing features ranging from NetSuite WMS to some of the mobile applications, as well as some hot new suite apps related to supply chain. We'll be diving into the new SuiteBilling capabilities, which is our subscription management and billing solution. And finally, you'll hear about some of the new things going on with our HR solution, SuitePeople.
So what's one feature in this release that you're kind of especially excited about, or maybe see as a big win for our customers?
Wow, that's a tough one. It's like, picking your favorite child or, they're all special in their very own ways.
Right.
From a practical point of view, I see, it's great to see the evolution of bill capture, which we continue to fine tune the ML models that help increase the accuracy for matching the invoices to your NetSuite record. So that's increasing productivity for our users. There's also Ship Central, our packing and shipping solution. With this release, there's some great new functionality to automatically find the best shipping rates, which is pretty cool. So that's saving users time, but also money. So those are great. But I actually wanted to talk about a feature that's included in the release, but it's in early release status. Going into that a little bit, what we're going to be doing with this release is to start to roll out some of the new Redwood UI elements to NetSuite. Users may have heard about this already from Oracle, which they have all their applications using this, or you actually may have seen it in some of the Oracle applications that we make available to NetSuite users, like Planning and Budgeting or Analytics Warehouse. Those two solutions have already the Redwood UI design system applied. So what you're going to see in NetSuite are changes like fonts, icons, and colors applied to various pages. There's no functionality changes, no changes to workflows. It's strictly an aesthetic, user interface change. One thing to note and to understand is that this new UI won't be turned on by default. You'll need to go in and change the preference settings to do that, but your admin can easily do that. It's a great way just to start to become familiar with this. We're going to see more pages updated over the next few releases with more of the design elements applied. And at some point, it will become the default UI of NetSuite. But it's starting, and that's what I think is really exciting.
Yeah, very cool stuff. And if someone wants to learn more about Redwood UI and maybe, what might be changing a little bit just in appearance in NetSuite, where could they go to learn more about that?
As usual with all the stuff in every new release, we'll have details in the release notes. But we're also planning to start rolling out over the next few months some added communications and tools that users can use to become familiar. So you should be seeing some blogs on this. We're actually trying to line up a speaker for the podcast at some point soon down the road. So lots more to come on this.
Awesome. And I wanted to quickly touch on kind of the logistics of a NetSuite release for any new listeners, any customers who have maybe not been through this before, or those that maybe just need a refresher. So how does NetSuite deliver all these new features that you covered to users?
Yeah, it's actually still to this day, as many times we've been doing it, it's still super cool to watch it from, the other side of getting it applied, the process and everything. But to remind everybody, we do two releases a year. All of our customers, which right now we're at 38,000 plus customers, receive the updates. Everyone is on the same release using the latest and greatest version of NetSuite. So this is our second update of the year. With the release, accounts will be updated between mid-August through July. That's the span of the rolling upgrade window. Each customer is assigned a date and a time that their NetSuite account will be updated. The date and the time of your update will be published in the new release portlet on your NetSuite dashboard, and your NetSuite admin will also get an email with this information. If for some reason this time doesn't work for your company, you can change the date and time of the update via the CSM tool within NetSuite. Again, something pretty fast and easy that your admin can do. So on the day of the update, you do not need to install or do anything. Everything is automated. Accounts will go offline during the update time, which is scheduled for about a 4-hour period, but most of the updates happen in 60 minutes or less.
And it sounds like there's not a whole lot for customers to do, which is obviously a good thing. But what can customers do to prepare for this update?
Yeah, like I mentioned, this is all automatic, but we definitely encourage users to become familiar with what's in the release and to try it out in a release preview account. So while accounts are updated automatically and all customizations that you may have done to your account come over with the update, it's great to test things out using your own data, workflows, integrations, and customizations, just so there are no surprises. I know I don't like any surprises. So for those of you who are not familiar with a release preview account, this is a special test environment that clones your production account with the new release functionality in it. It's free. You just need to have your NetSuite admin request it, but definitely encourage to, as we used to say, test drive before you go live.
And other than this podcast, how else can customers learn more about 2024.2?
Yeah, lots of ways to engage and learn more. So the first thing you can do is read about the sneak peek blogs. You can read about the enhancements in the sneak peek blogs on netsuite.com, as well as the release notes. The release notes go into a ton of details on each of the new features and capabilities. There's also training videos that are made available in Suite Answers that you can watch on selected new features and enhancements. Another way, we encourage you to talk with your account manager about what's new, kind of what they're recommending. You may want to pay a little special attention to since they know your environments a little bit more. So engage in some conversations with your account manager. We've got some upcoming webinars that you could also, if kind of seeing is more of your thing rather than reading. So we have a new release features webinar coming up, actually just a few days after this webinar, this podcast goes live. So you can sign up to watch that, to participate in that webinar July 24th. Or if you can't make that, it will be available to watch on demand. And there's also another follow-up webinar coming up in early August about release readiness. So this is a little different webinar. It's not going to go into details on the actual features, but more about giving you tips on how to get ready for the release, like using the release preview account, which I just mentioned, creating test plans. And then there's also an opportunity to learn about some of the services that we have available that you may want to look at to help with release readiness. And then last but not least, we've got Suite World coming up. So that's happening in Las Vegas, September 9th through the 12th. We've got over 200 plus sessions, seminars, hands-on learning and training that cover a lot of the new capabilities, not only from this release 24.2, but also from the previous release 24.1. So lots of different ways to learn about the release, depending upon your, how you like to learn and get up to speed on things.
Well, lots of cool and exciting stuff to look forward to there. So thanks for walking us through it, Lisa.
Thanks, Ian. Happy to.
SuitePeople, NetSuite's human resource management solution, saw several new features in NetSuite 2024 Release 2. Joining us to discuss how these updates will help companies better manage their workforce and associated costs is Tanios Boudames, Product Marketing Manager for NetSuite SuitePeople. For those who are not aware of NetSuite's HR solution, SuitePeople, could you give them an overview?
Yeah, of course. So SuitePeople is part of NetSuite's DNA, right? It works seamlessly with the rest of the platform. It's NetSuite's comprehensive human resources management system. So it's designed to streamline, automate a lot of the complexities that HR teams and processes kind of face. And it offers a robust set of tools for managing core HR business processes. That's like keeping employee records, running payroll, providing benefits, understanding performance of different teams, scheduling and optimizing workforce scheduling and planning. And really by integrating with the NetSuite ecosystem and being a part of it, you can really enable your business to better manage your workforce by having real-time insights, by having real-time analytics that drive better decision-making, because SuitePeople is with NetSuite on the same platform. And it really allows customers to better understand how they can manage their workforce and optimize it. And all of this is leveraged because, again, it's connected to NetSuite. So we can connect into Suite Analytics, things into projects, into all the different products that NetSuite offers. And in terms of SuitePeople itself, diving deeper in terms of what the modules and the products are that we sell, we have US payroll, we have HR administration, we have workforce management, and we have performance management. So these are really covering the key areas that HR folks are going to be looking for in terms of providing HR functionality to their business. And this helps really provide a unified solution for finance and HR in one solution with NetSuite.
Well, why is it important to have a finance and HR system that is unified?
Yeah, so there's really three areas that I always think of when it's having a unified solution, especially when it comes to two really key lines of business like finance and HR. The first is collaboration, right? It's being able to understand when you want to make changes to your workforce. You want to either hire people, you want to maybe readjust learning or reskill employees, or understand where you need to maybe make shifts in the workforce in terms of scheduling and teams, is understanding how you can collaborate as an HR person with finance or vice versa, understanding the budget, understanding the costs from the finance side, and then understanding things like the goals, the performance, the really HR information, location, how you can readjust workforces to be optimized to improve revenue, improve performance of the business. The second is having actionable insights. And this kind of goes on the collaboration, is not just being able to talk to each other, but also as a finance person or as an HR person, being able to pull up dashboards, things like headcount analysis, things like performance across teams or across individuals or across products, being able to forecast different aspects with workforce management, being able to understand, okay, I need like 3 people here at this job site for this season, right? Because it's going to be very busy. We need more staff. So being able to have those actionable insights from across the business, whether it's coming from projects or whether it's coming from the HR side as a finance person is really important. And that's what SuitePeople provides with the unification of it being together. And then the last is having the data integrity, right? Data integrity and data privacy. So everything is in one solution. You're not having to import data, sensitive data like employee data across different solutions. It's all within NetSuite, all protected. So this helps with the privacy, the security aspect, and the integrity is you're not having a duplication of data, right? There's one source of truth. You go to NetSuite, you check an employee record, you check the financials, etc. All of it is within one system. So that's really the power of having it unified in those three elements, really.
How has the product grown to support NetSuite Financials customers over the years?
Yeah, so SuitePeople really started out with payroll and HR, and we've grown and added performance management and workforce management, and really grown alongside with our customers. I mean, now we process 6 billion annually in payroll transactions across thousands of employees. We're really very much ramping up, as we'll see in this update, around workforce management and around providing a more complete HR solution for our customers with things like benefits offering, right? So, and benefits solution. So it's very much improved with financials as well, NetSuite Financials, to offer deeper analytics, reporting features that help understand workforce costs, productivity for products, for locations, right? Being able to understand where the demand is from the business. And that comes from things like compensation, planning, performance management, and understanding the whole aspect of your business. And at the same time, from an employee side, is we've really grown to offer employees more of the self-service capabilities. So this is allowing them to get the information that they need at the time that they need it, without having to go to HR, without having to bother or really distract business folks from focusing on more impactful tasks, to ask for things like a pay slip or to ask for things like a time off or schedule around that, right? So workforce management allows for that. We have the self-service portals in HR to allow you to access payroll slips, etc., right?
Let's get to the good stuff. What enhancements are coming to SuitePeople in 2024 Release 2?
Yeah, so for workforce management, we have 2 really key enhancements coming. And one of those is around being able to track to multiple time fields, right? So this is going to allow businesses to understand not just by, for example, a location or a team or a product, but to be able to dive even deeper into how employees are spending their time. Where are the labor costs coming from? For example, you are running let's say a coffee shop, right? Where are your employees spending the most time? Cleaning, making the coffee, talking with customers, whatever it may be. Being able to log those times across multiple time fields now allows you to understand where maybe you need more support. Example, another is like a contracting business, right? Where you have multiple people working on building a house, people who are doing the platform, the foundation, the concrete, who are building the paint, the electrical, all the different stuff that you have within a project, being able to map across how many hours are being spent on which item, on which project, on which task is really impactful for our customers now, being able to use that and to map to different fields. And the second is around really enabling compliance for our customers. So being able to ensure that employees take their full break. So this is like a break, early break prevention enhancement, where employees now will take their full break and cannot clock back in until their break is completed. And this is important for a lot of states that will penalize businesses if employees don't take their full half an hour, whatever the regulation is. So this is really powerful enhancements for the workforce management product we offer customers. And then from an HR administrator and HR admin viewpoint, we now have a benefits partner. So we now can offer customers benefits enrollment and brokerage services through our benefits partner, Simply Insured. And all of this is within NetSuite. So it's all within the NetSuite interface. Employees don't have to go outside of NetSuite to sign up and to enroll in benefits. And at the back end, the payroll is deducted. So any costs that come from an employee signing up for a benefits plan, they can see that reflected automatically in their payroll as a deduction. And then from a financial standpoint, you can see as a finance person, the GL showing the cost of how much benefits costs, how much each plan even is costing the business, and being able to optimize. Are a lot of employees using this plan? No, but it's also costing a lot. Okay, maybe we should look at offering other plans for employees. So that's the two big enhancements, or three, I guess, two for workforce management and one for as a new partnership with benefits that we have in 24.2.
How does this help businesses monitor and track rising labor costs? Because that's a huge issue for our customers.
Yeah. So for SuitePeople, especially with the workforce management, I'll talk on that because this is really where, as I was saying earlier, it's going to provide visibility into so many different components of the workforce. When they clock in, what are they clocking into? What are they tracking their time to? So being able to understand the different components of expenses, wages, overtime, anything that they're spending extra time on. So being able to identify cost trends and being able to budget and forecast ahead. So saying, okay, these projects are taking our employees way longer, or these tasks, or this assembly line, or this product, right, is taking double the time that it should. And now we're accruing overtime. Let's put more employees on that. Or maybe let's adjust how we're moving forward as a business and a business strategy for that product or project or offerings and services, right? So it's going to help businesses really dig down deeper into what is labor costs affecting their growth. And this can happen from so many different fields that are within NetSuite, the time fields, and being able to map to those as an employee when you clock in, being able to say what you're doing at certain hour and time is going to really help businesses monitor and track where their labor costs are.
How do these enhancements help employees and perhaps also help businesses? Anything that you might have not have mentioned so far?
Yeah, so I've talked a lot about businesses and the organizational side of it with finance and HR. For employees, there's a lot of great enhancements with this. I mean, it's going to provide a lot greater transparency and access to their HR information. So for benefits, for example, being able to have that solution as a business to offer to your employees so that they can access health benefits through their employer is really empowering to them. They're going to be able to enroll and access and view different plans all within NetSuite, right? So that's really impactful. And again, all the self-service that comes with SuitePeople, right? Being able to have the self-service to understand what your pay is, understand where maybe you need to update some personal information to reflect accurately, and being able to request time off, understand your scheduling and schedule within workforce management, all great, really empowering aspects and enhancements for employees. From the business standpoint, a lot of this, again, is streamlining the processes across HR and finance. So what you're doing is, from the workforce management standpoint, even with the time fields, is understanding, okay, people are clocking in, they're aligning their time to certain tasks and projects. From a finance standpoint, where do we want to adjust the budget? Where do we want to move forward in terms of adjusting how our workforce is operating, from teams to products to focus, right? And all of this is just really helping HR become more strategic in terms of how they operate, and allowing finance to gain greater visibility in terms of the costs and how the workforce is operating, so they can better optimize budgets and really grow revenue.
NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system, is everything you need to grow all in one place. Financials, inventory, HR, and more. Make better decisions faster so you can do more and spend less. See how at netsuite.com/pod.
Next, we have Peter Bouyonan, an industry solution advisor at NetSuite. Peter will walk through the biggest new supply chain and manufacturing features in NetSuite 2024.2, explaining how they can help businesses reduce costs and increase productivity. So, Peter, to start, could you just share what are some of the key goals for manufacturers when it comes to production?
Sure. One of the key goals in the manufacturing process is really to optimize the inventory levels. What I mean by that is to produce enough to meet your demand without having a lot of excess. So at the end of the day, you're maximizing output with minimal waste. And for a lot of manufacturers, what they're trying to do is ensure steady flow of raw material and components. They're trying to streamline their process and just make sure their production time is reduced. So that they just need the flexibility to be able to adapt to any changes from the demand, like what their customers are demanding, or even from production requirements.
And I know in this release 2024.2, there's some new functionality around aligning supply and demand in NetSuite. Could you tell us a little bit more about what we've added to support that?
Yeah, a couple of things actually. Supply planning updates we've done, and there's 3 new suite apps to support that as well. With the supply planning, that's going to give customers the ability to increase their accuracy and control of the supply planning quantities, their minimum order quantities, and their lot sizing. It's combined now to ensure proper quantities are ordered. So it's really merging the two together. So there's options there that they have. At the end of the day, that supports the right number of products and raw materials that are available. So that update is done to the supply planning. And then we have a few new suite apps that's going to support them as well. There's NetSuite, the Supply 360. That's essentially just viewing the manufacturing component requirements. So when you get the work order, you get a visibility of the ability to review the levels of component inventory for upcoming work orders. So that's going to give you a better way to plan as well. It's, Supply 360, so you're getting to see the whole 360-degree view of your manufacturing and components that are required. In addition to that, that really complements it as well, is the available to build. So that's going to give you a view, and it gives customers answers to see how many more of an assembly can be produced, right? And it's based on the current inventory. So they're able to see that inventory, and then they can see how many we produce. And a lot of times you see that requirements from customers as they have a work order and they have certain raw material of quantity, and they can produce more than that's what's required, since visually, if you can see the machinery is working, right? Once you have a setup and you start working, you don't want to stop just because you supported the work order, right? You have enough to do a work order, but you can go ahead and continue having the available to build. You can see that perhaps you can run a little bit more and have that in stock if necessary, as opposed to just shutting down and then now you have this raw material sitting. So that helps most customers in that regards. And then a very important aspect of everything is the cost, right? So we have a cost variance analysis that's going to take the actual cost versus what you planned. So if you have a work order and you know what your planned cost is, now you can run a report to see what that variance is and see the actual cost. And that's going to help customers identify, where the actual costs landed. Are they up? Are they down?
Great. Yeah, lots of exciting stuff there. And how can our customers access these new suite apps?
So in general, the suite apps are either on the tab or what I do typically is search in the global bar for suite apps, and you can see and view, browse, search for these apps and install them. or they can go to suiteapp.com in the marketplace. They can visit that. And a lot of times, if they're already, NetSuite customers, the users can have access directly from the NetSuite instance.
And these are at no cost to customers, right? And are there any modules they need to have in place to access these suite apps?
So the suite apps that we just discussed, those three, the Supply 360, Available to Build, and the Cost Variance, are actually free to download. What you do, there is a prerequisite for them, is work orders and assemblies. And just keep in mind that you can check with your account manager, and they'll help you navigate through it as well.
So let's shift gears a little bit and talk about the production process itself and how NetSuite plays into that. So NetSuite has done a lot of work to make production and warehouse processes executable directly from a mobile device. Could you tell us about new enhancements in this release when it comes to mobile functionality?
Just want to go back a little bit about mobile. Like mobile apps, they support multiple efforts our customers have been asking for. For one, it's paperless and it's physically flexible, hence the mobile aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not tied down to having a desk station for every workstation. So, and that's why we're putting so much effort into our mobile applications. The SCM mobile, what we've done is put printers that can be grouped into print groups. That's going to allow the user to select a printer based on a print group preference. So that the user will see a list of printers based on the group they selected. That's going to help them, quite a bit to not be tied down to a specific printer, but then they can select which printer they want to print to. Hence, since it's mobile. In addition to that, with the SCM mobile, you have condition-based coloring, so you can color data tables and rows. That's going to give the user a quick way to distinguish rows of data, right? So if you got orders released, that may look, it could be in green. If the work order is in process, it could be yellow. If it's planned, it's in red, just to kind of give you a little bit of visual of what it would look like. And then the manufacturing mobile. So the enhancement there is that employees now can clock in and clock out with their badge. So that will provide actual machine and labor time on a specific operation, on a step. And then manufacturing mobile as well has a GS1 barcode. So that's an enhancement to allow you to scan a lot or a serial number. And a big one that our customers have always been asking for is to have like an auto-generate lot or serial number. And that's a Suite app, and it's integrated with the manufacturing mobile as well. The third one I mentioned was the quality management. So that's the capabilities for that inspection has been enhanced. It's going to give the user more control with like a parent transaction on inventory inspection. So they can perform on-demand inspections. This includes like inventory quantities and decimals. And then that's very helpful for a lot of our customers in the food and bev industry as well. And then there's compliance control, visibility of inspection results. So that's all going to be, it's more visual information on hand. And then lastly with that is the ability to navigate between inventory transaction and inspection queues. So you have now both as well.
Great. And could you remind everyone where they can access these mobile apps, and if they cost anything, and what NetSuite modules customers may need to have to use them?
Yeah, so mobile apps in general are available on any iOS, so Apple products or Android devices. You can search for NetSuite and download the app. So it's in general, high level. To get the mobile app, but the manufacturing mobile is actually a free bundle. It does require work orders and assemblies, so there is a prerequisite for that. The SCM mobile, it's really is a framework which manufacturing mobile is built on. But to use the functionality within, you need a manufacturing module license. And then the quality management is also a licensed bundle, and that will require inventory management. So, so the mobile application is available through the SCM mobile as well.
And then one other area I wanted to touch on is Ship Central. So Ship Central helps businesses fulfill orders with packing and shipping functionality. What's new with Ship Central in this release to make those packing and shipping processes even easier?
Yeah, so again, I want to go back just a little bit, right, from the last fiscal year. Ship Central, in general, it adds real-time integration to partial shipping carriers. These features, like they give you real-time rate shopping. It's integrated shipping labels. You could do address validation to make sure that you were capturing the right address. With, of course, the ability to void labels as well. So that was an enhancement that we've done in the past. And now what we've done, we've got usability improvements. So we added more to this functionality we had with Ship Central, and now you can automatically select the cheapest shipping method. Instead of having a list and trying to figure out yourself, it will provide you that information. Print return labels. So if you have anything that came through, as we talked about just a minute ago in regards to the quality management, and if you see something that needs to be returned, that can be done with the same carrier that came in, or you can choose a different carrier as well. It depends on the cost factor for you. You can create and print hazmat labels. So those are great, especially for the United States Postal Service or DHL. You know, they have their own standards. So being able to do that, you can comply with their standards. And operators can pack items by searching and grouping orders with a wave number. So that makes it really convenient.
Awesome. And how can our customers access Ship Central? What do they need, or how can they take advantage of some of these new capabilities?
Ship Central is great because actually, if you have WMS, it would be included with it.
Okay.
But it's not reliant on NetSuite's WMS. So it can be used with or without WMS, and it could be a standalone.
Well, lots of exciting stuff here, Peter, and appreciate you walking me through it.
Thanks, Ian. Thanks for your time.
Now, let's take a deeper dive into the enhancements around NetSuite SuiteBilling in 2024 Release 2. We have Jessica Turnpenny, Group Manager of Product Management at NetSuite, joining us next to cover how several new pieces of functionality in NetSuite SuiteBilling will help ease subscription management. We hear that subscription-based business models are becoming increasingly popular. Many businesses benefit from the recurring revenue and increased growth and profitability. But what are some of the challenges that businesses face when they're trying to manage subscription revenue and billing models?
Subscriptions have tons of advantages, but when you start having high volumes of recurring billing, it becomes unmanageable unless you're able to automate it. And especially if you have complexities around contract modifications, it becomes really hard and cumbersome for teams to manage all of those changes and make sure that it's accurate. And as well, revenue recognition for subscription billing is very specific. And so it can also be really hard for revenue teams to make sure that the way that they're recognizing their subscription revenue is accurate. So, and all of those things become more complicated with subscription billing because you're billing in a recurring way, not just a single one-off invoice. So yeah, it can be hard, especially at high volumes.
For those who are new to NetSuite or could use maybe a little bit of a refresher, can you share some information about SuiteBilling? What is it and what does it do?
So SuiteBilling is NetSuite's subscription billing module. And what SuiteBilling does is it really simplifies and automates the management of subscription billing for our customers. The module supports one-time, recurring, and consumption or usage-based billing. So we support flat, tiered, volume-based pricing, time-based discounts, free trials, all of the complex sort of ways that you can price in a subscription model. And we try and simplify that for you to be able to configure it using subscription plans. You can make that really easy to get up and running in a repeatable and accurate way. We automate all of those recurring type subscription invoice bulk runs for you, so that can all be automated. It doesn't have to be triggered in any way. We also have a really powerful rating engine that supports the proration associated with contract modifications, as well. It has a really deep integration into our advanced revenue management module. So it also seamlessly integrates with that module and automates all of your revenue recognition for your subscriptions. So it's a really powerful subscription billing product.
We hear a new feature is coming to SuiteBilling in release 2024.2. What can you tell us about it?
So in 24.2, we are releasing our prepay with drawdown feature. And that feature will allow our customers to receive a prepayment for whatever specified amount, and then be able to draw down or consume that prepayment across multiple subscription lines within that subscription. So you could take a prepayment for a set amount, and then as your customer consumes, whatever subscription products you've sold them, as they consume those, it burns down the prepayment.
Now, how would customers be invoiced in cases like this?
So they're invoiced for the prepayment upfront, and then on subsequent invoices, they see how that prepayment is consumed or burned down, and they also see what's left of that prepayment. So that initial invoice is that upfront payment, and then subsequent invoices are more communications on how that's being consumed.
What's exactly the added benefit of being able to record prepayments within SuiteBilling?
So being able to record those prepayments allows our customers to speed up cash flow. You have an upfront prepayment, and you get the advantage of consumption billing. So traditional usage-based or consumption billing is billed in arrears as it's used. And customers really love that model. So you get the advantage of that consumption-based model, but you reduce the risk by having the upfront cash flow. So you have that prepayment in hand, and then, it can be re-upped, or, you can recharge that prepayment at any time. So it does give customers that reduced risk with the great, consumption-based model.
And perhaps the most important question, how soon will customers be able to use this feature?
It is being released in our 2024.2 NetSuite release.
It's all very exciting.
Well, plenty of new capabilities for our customers to look forward to in 2024.2. And the best part is, they can access this new functionality and start reaping the benefits right now.
For sure. I really appreciate how the new features cut across so many areas. Financials and accounting, supply chain, manufacturing, HR. There's something here for so many different roles across a variety of companies. And a quick reminder, if you want to dive deeper into any of the new functionalities we covered today, we have links to our release blogs in the description of this episode.
Thank you so much to all our guests for joining us today, and a big thank you to all you listeners tuning in. I want to shout out our editing team over at Oracle, who does such a great job, and we are incredibly grateful for them. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe for more episodes just like this one. Bye!
You just listened to the NetSuite podcast. Be sure to tune in every week with more NetSuite developments, stories, and insights into the benefits of one integrated system to help you run your business.